Good morning, good day, friends. I hope you're doing really well. And today we're going to talk about food journaling. And the reason this video got prompted was I was kind of looking through the peaceful eating community. It's a community for people who want and need co-regulatory support from people who are also in the journey. I wouldn't say it's a total beginners group. If you have a hard time being around people and being vulnerable, it's probably going to feel like a lot. But if you're somebody who's like, I'm here to learn and grow and be vulnerable and own my stuff and, take time to work through some pretty potent material and get support with it, it's a great place to be. So if you're interested, you can just email me at tracybrownrd@gmail.com. Please don't Facebook message me. I don't check those very often. In fact, I don't really even keep Messenger on my phone. I like to have private conversations off of social media, to be honest. So anyway, even though I'm doing this video here for you all, but regardless, if you're interested in that community, just let me know, reach out, and I'll get you pointed in the right direction to do that. Or you can just go to the website, tracybrownrd.com, and look for services and peaceful eating community, and you can read all about it. Anyway, just looking through the materials and recognizing, we did a good job of explaining the pros and the cons and the strengths and limitations of doing a food journal. So let's talk about what a food journal is. It's simply documenting what you eat and details about it. But the way we use it in trauma-informed nutrition counseling is that for some, we assess first, is it even appropriate? Because some people, let's talk about the hard part of journaling first. The hard part is that if you have parts in you that really, really are afraid of to see what you're eating, or feel really afraid to feel really judged by it by yourself or your dietitian, or if you believe that there's something really so terrible about what you're eating and it's hard for it to be witnessed and seen, it might feel too provocative at first and bring up too much emotion. And we don't want you to feel overwhelmed, to feel flooded, whatever. We certainly don't want you to lie about your eating to yourself or to anybody else. So it's best to just hold back and do that review, verbally, the best we can do for our remembrance. And we know that isn't the most accurate, but it gives us an idea, and it's a place to start. So that's the cons of it. Is just if it brings up too much and you feel overwhelmed. We don't want that, and we don't have to have food journals to do recovery, to even progress in recovery. I will say that people who do food journal in all different kinds of ways, and we're going to talk about how to make it more doable if it feels hard here in the last part of this video. But for now, know that it's not the end of the world if you don't food journal. It's just that to help a person get really good clarity about their interoceptive awareness, about if we're honestly missing any, protein, carbs, and fat, if we're missing some micronutrients like, let's say, calcium or magnesium. I can look at your intake and give you some ideas about where we could add some things to try to get some more nutrition rehabilitation, essentially. We want you to thrive and feel the best you can. And so food journals help us do that, because we can go over multiple days. But if you can't do it, we'll eventually get there. No big deal. The pros of it, the benefits, the opportunity is that if we can look at it as a compassionate witness and as an anthropologist, where it's like there is no judging, there's no opinion dropping, there's just you ate at 8 o'clock in the morning, here's the food you had, here's the amounts approximately, here's your physical experience of that. Let's say that you write down how you felt when you started eating, and here's how you felt somewhere in the midst of the eating, and here's where you felt at the end, physically, not like a emotion, but the physicality of it, if you can tell. And then any kind of thoughts, beliefs, emotions, other externals happening around you, or maybe internals happening within you about the food, or maybe it's about something else that's impacting the food. That is a lot of information. When I go through food journals with people, I can sometimes if everything's pretty efficient on there and looks pretty straightforward, I might be able to get through a handful of days in a session. But sometimes I can spend 1 hour on one day and help people unpack, decode, make meaning of some things, celebrate what's going good, look at the places where maybe we had some blind spots or just dissociation or some judgment, and work on some healing with all that. I mean, it's amazing what we can do with that information. We can tell who's making the decisions with your food, something external from you. We can tell if here's you, and then there's a diet voice in there trying to run the show. There's all kinds of cool stuff that we can discover and bring some healing to if you food journal. Again, I always tell clients that if we start doing it and you find that, and here's where the solutions come in. Let's say that if you're in a situation where it's like, I don't have anything to hide, I know I'm here for healing, no big deal, let's look at it, I trust that you're not judging, and if a little bit of shame bubbles up, we'll work through that and put that where it goes and not project it into the here now moment. We can do that. If you find that it feels too much, then you just let yourself take a break. Sometimes it's like, how many days a week do you want to do? And somebody might say 1, or they do 3, or they do a weekend day and a work day, whatever. Or different kinds of days they have with different scheduled school or work. That's fine. We get a lot of information from that and have a lot of places for opportunity for some field work. It's really great, where we can make some tweaks and start to get more body trust. It's awesome. Sometimes I've had people, of course, do apps, and we can look at it through there. They can put it on there and act like it didn't happen. That's cool. We can, old school, when I still do paper and pencil and paper with a lot of people. Let's say that you want to find the information, but you don't want to look at it again, otherwise it might hijack the evening eating. Then put a sticky note over top of what you just say, so you don't have to see it. Some people don't write down the food, they just write down the hunger, fullness, and comments about it, or comments about the situation. Some people just write they ate at 8 o'clock and this is what they heard in their head about it. So there's all kinds of ways to deal with all different degrees of information. So now it's up for you to decide and for you to assess if you were to think about it. Some people tell me, like, I know if I write it down, I'm just going to undereat. Or if I'm going to write it down, I'm going to feel too much shame. Then maybe food journals, you're just not ready for yet. And that's okay. If writing things down or being aware of things creates too much distress and it holds you back from eating more appropriately, then you probably shouldn't do it. If you find that, honestly, it helps you stay really accountable and helps you to know, oh, I keep telling myself that's too much, but I ate it, and then I can see it, and that's not. I know I'm not eating a plate of food that I would serve anybody, even though in my head it seems like a lot, but food journaling helps you stay aware of that's how it works in your head, then that might be a great tool for you. All right, so there's that. I hope this video really helps you kind of make some sense if this would be a helpful tool for you or not. It's really important if you do it, you should, and if you have the capacity to look at them, you should reflect. You should reflect on how far you're coming, or you should you ought to look at wow, I used to not let myself eat more than 1 serving of XYZ for XYZ meals, and I'm doing 2 now, and I am feeling better, and I can see where that shifted from just kind of getting by and kind of survival eating to it's better now. Or I can see where I slow down there, that I don't have that deprivation driven eating at 6 p.m. because I ate more here and here. Or my eating was kind of not so, it wasn't really too calorically under, but I could see here where, because of the comments I made and the work I've been doing, that I'm having better boundaries, and I'm finding that I'm not eating in the afternoon on the way home from work to give myself some space and to bring down the activation. If you're writing these things down and you're trying new things and you're seeing a different result, now you have this document of your journey that shows what is actually working and helping you. So there's a lot of benefit if you're willing. It does take work and time. A lot of people, they'll do those for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, and this feels like I thought I was getting away from thinking too much about food and what I'm eating and how much, but it's pretty annoying. And I'm like, I hear you. I mean, you're trying to take these well-worn neural pathways of like under eating, overeating, unconsciously eating, not caring what you're doing, over caring too much about what you're doing. And you're trying to use this tool as a way to keep yourself accountable to the new way of doing it. And it does take a lot of work because you have an old neural pathway that's very efficient. Your brain has to learn something new and lay down new neural pathways to do something new naturally. So it's going to take work and effort. I will call it determination and perseverance for sure. It's not that we're trying to be more preoccupied. We are trying to be more, what's the right word? We're purposely and intentionally putting our energy towards new stuff, which does take effort. But remember, it took effort also. You just got used to it and it became a little easier because it had a deeper neural pathway. We're trying to build a new one, which is also going to take energy and effort. And eventually this will feel more natural too. You won't be journaling anymore. You won't even be thinking about like what hungerfulness, what you want to name the interceptive experience you're having, or if you do a 0 through 10 hungerfulness scale, whatever you're doing, you won't think about those things too much anymore. You'll just feel some hunger and take care of it, and you feel some fullness, and most of the time you stop there. Then you won't be thinking about it too much, and that's probably years down the road, but it will happen. But it's because of this early, for lack of a better word, like grunt work, like laying the foundation. Me and you taking our shovels out into this like untilled ground with picks and shovels and working away at it until it's like, oh, there's a level, and we get things smoothed out where it's tilted and raise things up where it needs to be raised, and building this solid level foundation. And then you can build from there. And then it's like, then eventually you're living again in this beautiful, leveled, peaceful house with food and body and weight. So I hope all this helps you. This is kind of a little tidbit of the journey. I thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.